Hello, and welcome to the FM podcast. I'm Jen Fritz, and I run Fritz Media, a music publicity and digital marketing firm located in Vancouver, Canada. And this is episode number 28 of the podcast. All right, so the topic of this week's show is one that I've had so many people ask me to do. This week, we're going to be talking about NFTs in the music industry. And joining me on the show is my good buddy, Parkside, Mike Renaud. Now, Parkside is the executive creative director at Hidden Pony Records and Management, and he's also a consultant for Slaight Music. And he has a lot of great insight into why NFTs matter for the music industry. This was a really interesting and informative chat, and I hope you enjoy it. Here's my conversation with Parkside Mike. Well, hello, Parkside. How are you doing today?
I'm good, Jen. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. We're talking like early, well, I guess it's not early in the morning, but kind of morning-ish for me, and feeling a little spry this morning. You know, I'm going to attack the day.
It's always morning somewhere.
Yeah, that's very true. So I feel like I haven't talked to you in such a long time. And, you know, we connected briefly yesterday, and I was saying to you, it's been so long since you and I have seen each other, which is very, very weird. But I guess, you know, pandemic and life and all of those things. You know, we've known each other for a long time, too. I feel like I met you right as I was getting into the music industry through Frontside. Is that how we met, you and I?
Yeah, I would think that it was through Frontside, and that would have been at the beginning of my career for sure. Well, it would have been a couple years in because I started at Aquarius Records, and we were sort of the big East Coast independent record label, and the West Coast big independent record label was Network. And so we used to do like joint showcases at CMW. We did an Aquarius versus Network one year.
Right.
And of course, Gary and Jeff, who started Frontside, came from Network. We became clients, and, you know, and then for sure that would have been how we originally met, I think.
Yeah, totally. Because I started my my music career at Network with Gary, because Gary was a friend before that when I worked in radio. And then obviously I made the move with them to Frontside as a crazy person.
Right. So it might have been at Network then.
Yeah.
It might have even predated Frontside.
Yeah, totally. So I just wanted, you know, before we get into our big NFT topic discussion this week, I wanted to, you've touched on it a little bit, but, you know, just a little bit more in depth, maybe some background for our listeners so that they know a bit about you. How did you get started in the industry? Where are you now? Like the big, like, Coles notes of your career, I guess.
Okay. Well, I'm in my mid 40s now and just starting to feel on the precipice of being old.
Oh, yeah.
I started fairly young in my very early 20s as an intern at Aquarius Records, which was owned by concert promoter Donald Tarleton, who was better known as Donald K. Donald. Grew into an A&R role there and worked with Sum 41 and Serial Joe and did the soundtrack to Fubar and had a very nice, about almost 7 years at Aquarius. After that, I moved to Vancouver for a little time and then back to Hamilton, where I grew up, while I was managing my childhood friend, Jeremy Fisher, who had got signed to Sony and Sony Publishing, and started a record label, basically, and management company called Hidden Pony Records and Management. Originally, my business partner was Donald. He became my 50-50 partner after I left working for him. Mm-hmm. And we did that for a long time. And more recently, Gary Slaight and Slaight Music has replaced Donald as my business partners. And I also consult for Slaight Music and the Slaight family, mainly on the music side, a little bit in the philanthropic side when I can. And I really like to do that part. And still have Hidden Pony, and along the way have managed and started the careers of Said the Whale, Hannah George's, The Dirty Nail. Well, their career had started, but really worked with them for an extended period of time. Jeremy still, The Odds, forgetting tons of people, but have worked with a lot of artists who have gone on to have successful careers.
Yeah, you've done it all, man. Yeah, I mean, I think most people of our age know you for Sum 41, for the work that you did with them, I would say.
Yeah, which was really like the least impactful that I have ever been on a band. Like I was just at the right place at the right time. And my primary job was to take them out and party with them when they were home.
Nice.
Because I was around kind of like the same age as them. Their A&R was in the US at Island Def Jam. And I was their sort of product manager, and I worked very closely with Lenny Levine, who was the marketing person at Aquarius. We were sort of team Sum 41 in Canada. So I was more of a product manager, but they called me their A&R. And really all I did was get money from the label and take them out partying.
Well, you know what? That's what a lot of people did with their jobs in music of a certain generation, I think.
You know, if that's what I'm known for, it's not so bad, right? I could be known for way worse things.
Yeah. Did you get paid? Sure. That's great.
Did I? I don't know. I probably would have done it for free at the time. It was so fun, you know?
Oh, that's awesome. The topic of this week's show is NFTs in the music industry. And, you know, I thought you'd be a good person to talk to about this because I wanted someone that would be able to simplify it enough, because for those new to cryptocurrency, you know, somebody like me, it can be a difficult concept to understand. I thought maybe we'd start out with the basics. Do you have an easy way to explain what an NFT is? And also, you know, if you want to get more specific, even, I feel like I don't want to explain what an NFT is, but maybe what is a music NFT?
Okay. All right. These are very, very broad questions, and I've managed to simplify it, but it also takes still a long time and maybe a lot of examples to really understand what's going on. I came to it at the beginning of this year in January. I did a deep dive through a variety of mediums, and I met a variety of people who had a variety of different knowledges about blockchain space, cryptocurrencies, decentralized apps, NFTs. And I got to basically spend a lot of time workshopping and asking what it was. And I would come up with an idea and I'd say, hey, what about this? Would this work as? And they'd say yes or no, or you have to think about this or that. And at the same time, I was also testing a piece of technology called the HoloLens 2, which is a Microsoft mixed reality headset. Mixed reality being you can see the environment you're actually standing in, and holograms are in the environment like you're living.
Oh my God, that's bonkers.
Right? So it's the coolest thing ever. Like the stuff that's on the horizon, on the precipice that already exists that people don't even know about yet. It's wild, right? We're just catching on to NFTs, but NFT technology has been around for a while. Mm-hmm. And so what is an NFT? An NFT is simply a record. Simply a record of ownership, of transfer, of this is minted into a blockchain. And once you mint something into a blockchain, that means you're putting the information into this secure general ledger that is completely transparent, that everyone can see. And you're saying this is the first minted whatever is inside your NFT. Mm-hmm. The NFT isn't a format. That's where people kind of get misconstrued. It's not a format. It's a delivery service.
Right.
And what you put inside of it, that is where you have to get philosophical about what it is, why you're doing it, how you're doing it, and why it will be valuable to somebody, not only now, but potentially in the future. Because the NFT marketplace began and is predicated to some, like mostly, on a collector's, right? Collector's thing.
Yeah.
NFT technology goes way beyond that, but that's sort of where everyone has been focused out of the gate. So you have this cat meme, right?
Yeah.
The famous cat meme sells for all of these millions of dollars. Everyone goes crazy. You hear these headlines. I like to contextualize all of this. $10 million worth of Bitcoin or Ethereum to someone who's been in the space for a long period of time may not be $10 million worth of Ethereum to them. Right?
Right.
So, you know, if someone's been mining Bitcoin for 10 years in their parents' basement, buying that cat meme for $100 million worth of Bitcoin may not be anything to them because they have so much Bitcoin and they don't equate it into fiat currency. It's not the same to them. They're dealing in a different ecosystem, a different space. They're not going to convert that Bitcoin into hard currency.
Yeah, real dollars. I hadn't ever thought of it that way, but you putting it that way puts it into a lot of perspective because, I mean, to me, when you hear about this, it's like, well, that sounds like a bunch of tech bros just with all this money, spending their money on something. And so to me, I just see a barrier to entry for everything. I'm like, well, that's not something for me because, why would I get into that? I don't have that kind of money, right?
Right.
But yeah, that makes sense to me, the way you just said that. See, Mike?
Wow. And
you're doing some good.
Well, and people are just learning about, a lot of people are trading cryptocurrency through apps like Wealthsimple or crypto.com. And that's not really holding Bitcoin or Ethereum in a wallet. That's not managing a wallet in the same way that managing an NFT wallet is.
Right.
It's a different process. It's a different, there's a lot to understand. There's burning NFTs. There's all sorts of stuff going on where you just can get really lost. But ultimately, an NFT is just simply a record of contract, of ownership, it could be an MP3 inside of it. It can be a JPEG inside of it. It could be an experiential promise. It could be the deed to my house. It could be a promise to come over and clean your house 5 times. It literally can be anything you want. It's a contract, a smart contract.
Totally. And I think it's fair to say, like you said, you kind of got into it at the beginning of this year. And I think that, in the last year or two, investments in Bitcoin and NFTs have been at an all-time high. And I'm sure that the pandemic has a lot to do with that, especially when it comes to music NFTs, because, artists have been unable to tour. And so obviously looking for other sources of revenue. Now, this is kind of another broad question. Can you maybe explain a little bit about why NFTs do matter for the music industry?
So an audio NFT, I'm not a big believer in just a simple audio NFT, right?
Yeah.
So putting up an MP3 as an NFT and having someone buy it. So like I just said, you have to think about why is something valuable to someone in this as an NFT. Partly what people do is they buy NFTs for the provenance, for I'm the person who owns the cat meme. Everyone's got the cat meme. Everyone uses the cat meme. It's the most famous cat meme in the world. But I am the person who owns the first minted cat meme on the blockchain. And that makes me the coolest person, maybe in my metaverse or in my Telegram server or my Discord or wherever my ecosystem is. And now I become this legendary person in the NFT collectible world that owns this cat meme, right?
Yeah.
So why is it important? NFTs as a technology, as part of what's called decentralized apps, I think are important for the music industry. Mm-hmm. So in that context, I think it's important because we're going to be seeing, hopefully, some streaming services and some social media services where, because of the nature of blockchain, the financial systems and the power as to what becomes popular will become also decentralized.
Yes.
In this space. Meaning, as a user, there'll be potentially a TikTok that's going to come, and I know there's some being developed, where instead of right now, if I use TikTok, I'm the product. They're selling my information as I use it. They want me to like things. They want me to post. I can now spend money in there. So there's that, right?
Yeah.
So that's how they make money. In the new system, the earlier that you like a viral video, the more you post videos, you'll be actually earning wealth, earning tokens, whatever token system they use within that universe. You'll be earning wealth for yourself and the artists and people that you're interacting with.
Oh, wow.
Just by the nature of how the economic works in blockchain. Transferring NFTs in this space that technology will become part of the underlying thing that you're doing. You may not even know that you're trading NFTs at this point, right?
Yeah.
But the way that it's all going to work is you'll have your wallet associated with that platform, and then your wallet will hold the things. And as you're interacting, it'll all happen and your wealth will grow. And then you'll be able to, depending on what the platform is and the universe it's in, you'll be able to use those tokens to buy things, digital merchandise potentially. Who knows? Maybe exclusive audio NFTs that you can't get anywhere else.
Right.
The trick with NFTs and this world is, in a traditional collectibles market, the oldest thing in the best condition gets the biggest price, right? The oldest Bible ever known to man in the best condition would be worth the most of all the Bibles, right? For instance.
Yes.
So in this case, we don't have, nothing fades. It's right. You don't have that aspect to it. So why is it going to become valuable over time?
Mm-hmm.
And the answer to that is utility. What can you do with this NFT that you own? Can you just say that you own it? Can you display it proudly in your home? Can you display it as your avatar? Does it give you access to something at the artist show?
See, that's it to me. Like, there's a lot of different examples of music NFTs that are being experimented with right now and being used. You know, like you said, like, say someone like Grimes, she has like digital images NFTs, and sometimes she has snippets of music with it. I see the value in that because it's like, I want to have the thing, right? I get that. But when you have something like, you know, someone like, say, Kings of Leon, doing something like, if you get it, you get front row at every Kings of Leon show or something like that. I see value in that a little bit. Like, what are your thoughts on something like that?
Yeah, the experiential stuff is interesting, but it lends itself to a one-time sale. Like, one of the best parts about NFT marketplaces is that you can make money on the secondary sales of your NFTs. So even if one person buys it, they can sell it to someone.
Yeah.
You're going to make money on that secondary sale. So it's hard to transfer experiential things
right
as a secondary sale. But as an exclusive, I see value in it, but it's also just basically a VIP fan club, which...
Yeah, like you can do that already, right?
You can do it already.
Yeah.
What I'm more interested in is what can't you do now? What are the ecosystems? What are the apps that are coming? Who's using music in the most innovative way in an NFT space? Collaborating with visual artists, creating unique pieces of work, creating community. That's the thing. Everyone's rushing into this thing going, I want to throw up NFTs. You have to either become part of a community or build a community. It's not just like you're going to fart out an NFT, throw it up on OpenSea, and then someone's going to buy it for $10 million.
Yeah.
Like,
the people
right?
have to want it.
It's the same thing as anywhere else that you're going to build your career. If you're going to try and build on Spotify, you have to build a community of people in Spotify, Instagram, YouTube. You have to build community or find community. And it's the same thing here. The communities exist, but you have to go find them, become a part of them, learn. It's the most fascinating and inviting space if you go and dive in. But if you read the headlines, you're going to get lost.
Yeah, no, totally. And there's, you know, a lot of artists doing a lot of interesting things right now in it. I know we were speaking earlier and we talked a bit about Imogen Heap, and she's doing some crazy stuff. Do you want to just I'm sure you know a little bit more about what she's doing, but like, what are some of the things?
Yeah, I know she has a rights, like a music publishing rights service coming that's blockchain based. And I also know that she's quite well advanced in sort of AI and using AI as a musical creative partner.
Cool.
And I have a bit of experience with that because I was part of a project earlier this year called the Token of Gratitude, which involved a musical blockchain composer AI, which was a computer built that can analyze pictures and produce music based on its technical feelings of how it feels of the photograph that it's being shown.
What?
And the reason it's based on its feelings is because it has no musical programming whatsoever, just deep human psychological research.
Wow.
So we showed it 6 photos of empty venues from around the world, and it produced 6 tracks of music based on how it felt of those photos. And then we gave all of that to humans and played a broken telephone of all these humans who contribute to this end result song. And it became an NFT for charity.
Oh my God.
I know she's big into AI on the AI side as well. So she's sort of the like godmother of blockchain when it comes to artists. And she's always pushing the envelope. She's the coolest.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I like forward thinking musicians and people in the industry like that for sure. Now, music NFTs, you know, may sound like a good thing, but, you know, like everything, they do have some downsides. The environmental impact, for one. Also, as I mentioned, the class barrier. Let's start with the environmental side. You know, recently indie band Mother Mother, they put out an NFT and they were called out immediately by their fans, which I guess, you know, what I learned about that is Gen Z does not like NFTs. What do you think about, you know, that whole situation?
Well, I guess, they've built a community of people a couple times in their career now, and they have built a really great one.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess their community didn't respond positively. And that, like I said, there's a lot of headline reading. And the thing about blockchain is that it's both this and that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not this or that. So meaning it is not great for the environment, right? It started as a subversive activity. So that took place in countries with poor environmental records,
Yeah.
and poor sources of energy like coal and really bad polluting sources of energy. And it's very heavy. Initially, it's been very heavy on energy,
Yeah.
right? Consumption. So that's true. Where is it going in the environment is very exciting. So what I like to do is when a subject comes up in terms of blockchain, I'll Google search both sides of the thing. So I'll say, Google search, is blockchain bad for the environment? Is blockchain good for the environment?
Mm-hmm.
And then you find out what everyone's doing on all the sides. And there's so many cool companies, a lot in the carbon capture space. Like there's one called Nori.com, Nori, where when we did our token of gratitude initiative, we offset what we estimated our carbon footprint to be by buying Nori tokens.
Mm-hmm.
And we bought 3 of them, which equated to 3 metric tons of carbon being removed from the atmosphere. So, going into what Mother did, I mean, I think it was great that they went into it. And I wish that maybe they had the ability to start a conversation with their community as to both the pros and the cons of it, because it's not, like I said, it's not this or that. It has been, and it continues to be not great for the environment. And then also, it's also how you contextualize it. If you can contextualize cryptocurrencies versus the modern banking system, and the modern banking system, every major city in the world has bank towers and paper being pushed around and money being printed. And you think about all of that, all the Brinks trucks on the, gold being moved around and all of this stuff, and how much all that does to the environment. But we've accepted that as our system. Well, this is like, I could send you $10 of cryptocurrency in like half a nanosecond directly from my wallet to your wallet.
Right.
Right. So there's a lot of fallout from that. And that's why it's been subversive. And that's why governments are very afraid. And
Yeah.
the governments that are adopting it are all the ones who owe everyone else money, because they're like, hey, finally an opportunity for us to not have to be so beholden to the world's powers who we owe money to, right? So
Totally.
I think Mother is one of the greatest bands ever come out of Canada. I think they're great people. I'm so happy that my daughter has a band to look up to that is a positive role model. And
100%.
They felt like they needed to take it down and service their community that way. That's great. But I also do wish it would have been an opportunity to get a bunch of people in on both sides of the issue to have a conversation about it, because that's something that we don't do enough of these days in our world.
I agree. So there's too much black and white thinking on it. And, and there does need to be a discussion. And as you said, if you look like further, it could be something that can change, the economic future for artists if you get away from that sort of black and white thinking. Do you think NFTs are the way of the future for the music industry? Not just by themselves, but can they assist? Obviously we're in a real not a great time in the music industry right now. So do you think?
Well, I think
they could help.
I think they're an underlying technology that's going to be important to everything we're doing moving forward. So we're in this metaverse world now. Like NFTs interact with metaverses. You're going to be able to display your you can display your NFTs in metaverses. You can play your audio NFTs in metaverses. You can wear your digital merch, and you can there's already utility in this space. But where beyond that, when we get to the mixed reality, like this exists right now. I'm going to give you an example.
Okay.
I can put a hologram record player in the corner of my living room. I can put on my headset. I can put a hologram record player in the corner of my living room. I could go make toast in the other room. I could go upstairs, put away my clothes, come back down. The record player will still be in the corner. Then I can go over, take a hologram record player out of my record crate, put it on, press play, and the music will come out of any Bluetooth speaker I have it hooked up to.
Oh my God.
And so I can acquire those hologram vinyl as an NFT. So my hologram record collection will be underlying NFT technology.
Right.
But I won't think of it as an NFT. I'll think of it as my hologram record collection.
I gotcha.
Yeah. So I think the technology is hyper important. The decentralized apps, that's where I would encourage everyone to focus on. Forget about NFTs for now. I would go, blockchain streaming service, blockchain social media apps, and go see what's going on in those spaces, because those will be, if you see a community that's starting to be built in one of those places and it speaks to you and it resonates, now the time to jump in there, start using those platforms. Mm-hmm. You can start from scratch and go put out audio NFTs or mixed, whatever NFT you want, but you still have to build your community. I think it'd be way more exciting for people if they just search decentralized apps, music business, decentralized apps, go see what's out there and see who's building what. It's all just happening now.
Yeah.
But there's some exciting stuff.
That is really exciting, because I know a lot of people are looking for another way to be heard. Obviously, places like Spotify have a huge monopoly on how our music is delivered, and nobody's making money from that except for one guy. Mm-hmm. So, it is nice to find other spaces. Wrapping up a little bit, we talked a little bit about Imogene Heap. Do you have any other examples of your favorite music NFTs or people using the space or anything like that?
Yeah, there's a lot of people building stuff. Rain Meta is building Sing.
Yeah.
Which is like !NG. And I know they just try to launch, I don't know if their marketplace is up now or not, but they're trying to build exactly this, like a place for creators to be able to collaborate, for people to mint their NFTs, and a marketplace.
Right.
And right now it is every day there's 3 or 4 people that I know who have now got into the space, who are doing this, who are doing that. Literally, everyone is doing everything right now in this space.
Yeah.
Do I have favorites? Nothing has really, the ones that are doing really well are the ones that everyone knows. Do I have ones on the horizon? Mm-hmm. I like the Wax blockchain. It's a gasless blockchain. There's a lot of cool music and art stuff going on in the Wax blockchain. But there's just so much happening. It's like every second, everything I just told you is already old news.
That's the world we live in, though, Parkside. That's I feel like that all the time these days. It's I have a favorite album, and then a month goes by and it's it's over.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I do have a cool resource that maybe I'll just shoot out if people want to go read. It's called nftschool.dev, DEV.
Okay.
And it's just a little website. It's NFT basics, managing NFTs, auditing NFTs, what lazy minting is, building a gallery app. There's all sorts of stuff there. And literally all you have to do is literally just talk in the air and say, hey, whoever you talk to, Siri or Alexa or whoever, tell me about blockchain and the beauty industry, blockchain and dog food. Every single business, something is happening now.
Yes.
With blockchains and NFT technology.
And the information is out there. You just need to find it. We have the internet, people.
Yeah, don't just read the headline stuff. If you read a headline and you go, oh, that's interesting, literally Google the opposite of it right away and just read both sides, because anyone who tells you it's this or is definitive about what it is or what it's going to be has no idea what they're talking about.
You heard it here first, people. Parkside has the answers.
Yeah, no one has the answer. No one has the answer. That's the answer.
That is the answer.
That is the answer.
So now I think would be a good time to head on over to our fresh content segment. Now, every week on the show, we discuss our favorite piece of music content for the week, and we always like to start with the guest. So, Parkside, what do you got for us?
Well, I'm going to be selfish. I work with Theo Tams, former Canadian Idol winner Theo Tams. And he hates being referred to that way, but I do it anyway. because he's so much more than that. He is an unbelievable singer, maybe the best singer I've ever heard in my life. He has overcome so much in his life. He has an amazing documentary that's going to be in the Hot Docs coming up about his struggles with alcoholism and mental health issues and his journey through Idol and all that stuff. But he released a song, a really, 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 really important song called One Last Chance. It's about quitting drinking. And it's a really powerful song. And I would encourage everyone to go listen to it. There's a video of him performing it as well on YouTube, on his Theo Tams YouTube channel. So I'm going to say, everyone heading into this Christmas season where everyone likes to overindulge, which is totally fine, no judgments, but have a listen to One Last Chance. It's a beautiful, powerful song.
Amazing. Okay, we'll put the link to that in the show notes. Thanks for that. And so my fresh content for the week is from one of my favorite bands, those lovely LA indie rockers, Haim. And I just wanted to give a shout out to them for their social content lately. They're always very, very good on the Instagram, but they've really stepped it up, I think, in the last couple of weeks. They've been posting for each day of Hanukkah, calling it Haimaka, doing really fun interactive things with their fans each day. They even re-recorded Adam Sandler's Hanukkah song, which was super fun. And on top of that, they just announced a North American tour for next year. And they really, really took things really next level. I guess if you're a musician and you want to see how to do socials right, how to interact with your fans in the right way, how to create some really cool content, check out their Instagram, their TikTok too, but their Instagram, they have over 1 million followers. They don't have that many on TikTok yet, but yeah, that's mine for the week.
I love them. They're awesome.
Oh God, I love them so much. Their last album, Women in Music Part 3, basically got me through the last year. Not sure I'd be here without that album. All right. I can tell you. Take things dark. But yeah, I love them so much. All right. Well, thanks so much for joining us, Parkside. Anything else you want to plug before we go?
No, just I want to plug Jen Fritz. She's the best. And let's not make it another 10 years before we speak again.
Yeah, I would love that. Yeah, that's one of my favorite things about doing this podcast is seeing people I haven't seen in a long time because we're not going to any music conferences or anything. So
I know.
So
it's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah, that's true too, actually, because once we get back to them, I'll be like, oh, fuck this again,
Yeah, exactly. I'm too old to stay up for 3 days straight now. I can't do it anymore. I have to be in bed by 7:30. All the showcases start at 8.
No, I can't do it anymore either, too. Oh God. Anyway,
thanks for having me, Jen. It was super nice.
Yeah, thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, that was such a great talk. I hope you enjoyed it. And thanks again to Parkside for coming on the show. Thanks so much for listening to the FM podcast. If you like the show, please tell your friends and give us a rating and review in Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to your podcasts. The FM podcast is produced by Fritz Media with production assistance from Carla J. If you want to learn more about Fritz Media, check out our website at fritzmedia.ca. And you can follow us on Facebook. We're at Fritz Media, and on Instagram and Twitter at Fritz_media. If you want to learn more about the podcast, go to thefmpodcast.com. A big thank you to Said the Whale for providing the theme music for the show, and you can find them at saidthewhale.com. Okay, so we're going to go out with our song of the week this week, which, because we got Christmas coming up in a few days here, I thought we'd go out with a holiday track. From Fritz Media artist Anita Eccleston, this is Long Nights.
Long nights, staring at the many colored lights. Through my window, snow so bright. And I know I'm gonna be alright. Christmas is the time of year when I hold my family so dear. Perry Como sings a sweet melody as we gather round the Christmas tree. Waiting as you pull Decembers. Keep me warm as I remember those years when we could be together. Waiting as you pull the paper aside, watching your smile bloom and eyes open wide. Long nights staring at the many colored lights through my window. Snow so bright, and I know I'm gonna be alright, and I know you're gonna be alright, and I know we're gonna be alright.
Bye. I'll see you next Tuesday.